Ever had that gut feeling that something wasn't quite right, that someone's words didn't match their actions, or their smile seemed just a bit too forced? Deception is a subtle art, and those who wield it often do so with a skill that can leave you questioning your own instincts. It's not always about catching someone in an outright lie. Sometimes it's about reading between the lines, noticing what's not being said, or recognizing the contradictions in their behavior. As the saying goes, the truth is rarely pure and never simple. But what if you could sharpen your senses to see through the masks people wear? Today we're diving into 4 powerful lessons that will help you spot deception before it takes root and protect your mind from being swayed by falsehoods. If you're tired of being played or second-guessing your own instincts, hit that subscribe button. Let's equip you with the tools to not just survive in a world full of deception, but to thrive with clarity and confidence. 1. Develop unwavering self-awareness. The first step in spotting and deflecting deception is developing a deep and unwavering sense of self-awareness. Deception often works not because the lies themselves are so convincing, but because they exploit our own insecurities, desires, and blind spots. When you are unclear about who you are, what you want, or what you stand for, you become an easy target for those who seek to manipulate or mislead you. People who lie often rely on your emotional reactions, your fear of being wrong, your need for approval, or your desire to avoid conflict. These vulnerabilities become the cracks through which deception seeps in. However, by cultivating a strong understanding of your own mind and emotions, you can seal these cracks and make yourself much less susceptible to deceit. Self-awareness begins with a commitment to regular self-reflection. This means taking time to examine your thoughts, emotions, and reactions, especially in situations where you feel uncertain or uneasy. When someone tells you something that doesn't sit right with you, it's important to ask yourself why. Are you reacting to the content of their words or to something deeper, like a fear of confrontation or a desire to be liked? By identifying the underlying emotions that are being triggered, you can separate your feelings from the facts and gain a clearer perspective on the situation. This clarity is crucial because it allows you to respond to the situation with reason and logic, rather than being swept away by emotional impulses that can cloud your judgment. Moreover, self-awareness involves understanding your own biases and how they might be influencing your perception of the truth. Everyone has biases, preferences, assumptions, and experiences that shape how we interpret the world. These biases can make us more likely to believe certain things or to overlook certain red flags. For example, if you have a strong need to see the good in people, you might be more inclined to overlook signs of dishonesty. Conversely, if you've been betrayed in the past, you might be more suspicious than warranted. By being aware of these biases, you can take steps to counteract them, ensuring that your judgments are based on reality rather than on preconceived notions. This level of self-awareness not only helps you see through the lies of others, but also helps you avoid deceiving yourself. Another critical aspect of self-awareness is knowing your core values and principles. When you are clear about what you stand for, you are less likely to be swayed by others' opinions or manipulated by their deceit. Your values act as a compass, guiding you through situations where the truth is murky. If someone's words or actions conflict with your values, that's a strong signal that something is amiss. For instance, if honesty is a core value for you, and you sense that someone is being less than truthful, your internal alarm will go off, prompting you to dig deeper and seek the truth. This internal alignment with your values creates a solid foundation that makes it harder for others to deceive you because you are grounded in what truly matters to you. In addition, self-awareness helps you recognize patterns in how others treat you and how you respond to them. Manipulators and liars often use the same tactics repeatedly, knowing that these strategies have worked on you before. By reflecting on past experiences, you can identify these patterns and become more alert to them in the future. For example, if you notice that someone always tries to flatter you before asking for a favor, or if they become evasive when you ask direct questions, you can prepare yourself to see through these tactics the next time they occur. This proactive approach to self-awareness not only helps you spot deception as it happens, but also builds your resilience against future attempts to mislead you. Ultimately, developing unwavering self-awareness is about taking control of your own mind and emotions so that others cannot. It's about being vigilant, not just in your interactions with others, but in your understanding of yourself. When you know who you are, what you value, and how you tend to react, you become a fortress against deception. Lies and manipulations may still come your way, but they will find no foothold, no weak spot to exploit. Instead, you will meet them with clarity, confidence, and an unshakable sense of self, ensuring that you navigate the complexities of human interactions with integrity and truth. 2. Cultivate a mindset of skepticism, not cynicism. One of the most powerful tools in deflecting deception is cultivating a mindset of healthy skepticism. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of questioning appearances and not taking things at face value. However, skepticism is not the same as cynicism. While cynicism assumes the worst of others and expects dishonesty at every turn, skepticism is about keeping an open yet discerning mind, questioning information without immediately jumping to conclusions. This balanced approach allows you to protect yourself from lies without closing yourself off from genuine connections and truths. Skeptics are not easily fooled because they don't rush to believe. They weigh, they ponder, and they probe. They look for consistency between words and actions, and they listen not just to what is said, but also to what is left unsaid. By embracing skepticism, you create a mental buffer between yourself and potential deceit, allowing you to assess each situation with clear, logical reasoning rather than emotional bias. Skepticism requires you to pay attention to inconsistencies and discrepancies in what people say. Liars often rely on half-truths, omissions, or contradictions to construct their narratives, hoping you won't notice the gaps. A skeptic, however, is tuned into these details, recognizing when someone's story doesn't quite add up. They ask questions, not to accuse, but to clarify. For example, if someone's explanation feels a bit too convenient, or if their excuses change from one moment to the next, a skeptic will gently probe for more information. This approach forces the deceiver to either clarify their position, often exposing more inconsistencies, or retreat into vague language that only confirms their dishonesty. Marcus Aurelius would advise against accepting explanations at face value, especially when your instincts tell you something is off. By calmly and respectfully asking for clarification, you keep the pressure on the truth, pushing past the surface to uncover what lies beneath. A skeptical mindset also involves being aware of emotional manipulation. Deceptive individuals often use emotions, whether it's flattery, guilt, fear, or urgency, to bypass your rational thinking. They create narratives that play directly into your feelings, making it easier for you to overlook facts or logical inconsistencies. For instance, a manipulator might appeal to your empathy with a sob story that diverts attention from the facts or exaggerates urgency to pressure you into a quick decision. A skeptic, however, recognizes these tactics for what they are, attempts to cloud judgment and distract from objective analysis. They pause, take a step back, and ask themselves, is this person trying to influence my emotions? Are they attempting to rush me, guilt me, or flatter me into accepting their version of events? By maintaining this emotional distance, you can keep your decision-making grounded in reality rather than in manipulated feelings. Another key aspect of skepticism is verifying information from multiple sources. Liars often rely on you not checking up on what they say, assuming that their confident delivery or your trust will suffice. Marcus Aurelius would advocate for seeking out the truth independently, using your own observations and facts rather than simply taking someone else's word for it. This doesn't mean distrusting everything you hear, but rather it means practicing due diligence. If a colleague makes a claim that sounds suspect, do some quiet research to verify the facts before accepting their statement. If someone's story doesn't align with what you know to be true, don't hesitate to seek further clarification. This kind of thoughtful skepticism ensures that your beliefs are based on solid evidence, not on someone else's agenda or manipulation. Importantly, skepticism also helps you manage your own biases, which can make you more vulnerable to deception. We all have biases, beliefs or assumptions that color our perception of reality. For example, if you naturally trust authority figures, you might be more inclined to believe them without question. Conversely, if you have been hurt in the past, you might be overly suspicious of kind gestures. A skeptic is aware of these internal biases and actively works to balance them, neither fully accepting nor automatically rejecting information based on preconceived notions. Instead, they approach each interaction with an open yet discerning mind, recognizing that while not everyone is out to deceive, it is always wise to double-check the narrative presented to you. Ultimately, Marcus Aurelius would argue that cultivating a mindset of skepticism, not cynicism, empowers you to navigate a world where deception is often subtle and pervasive. Skepticism allows you to engage with others confidently, knowing that you have the tools to discern truth from falsehood without retreating into distrust or negativity. By questioning, verifying, and staying emotionally grounded, you keep deception at bay, ensuring that you remain the author of your own beliefs and actions. In this way, skepticism is not just a defense against lies. It's a disciplined approach to understanding the world as it truly is, guided by reason and wisdom. 3. Observe actions, not just words. One of the fundamental teachings of Marcus Aurelius was the importance of observing actions rather than just listening to words. In a world filled with deception, talk is cheap and promises are often empty. What truly reveals a person's character and intentions are their actions. Liars can be highly skilled with their words. They may craft elaborate stories, use persuasive language, and make grand promises, but their actions will often tell a different story. Marcus understood that words can be manipulated, spun, or used as a smokescreen to obscure the truth, but actions are harder to fake. They reflect true intent, commitment, and consistency. To see through deception, it is crucial to focus less on what people say and more on what they do. Actions are the clearest indicators of truth, and by scrutinizing them carefully, you can unmask even the most convincing deceiver. People who lie and manipulate often rely on your tendency to take them at their word. They know that if they can craft a narrative that aligns with what you want to hear, or that plays on your emotions, you're likely to overlook any red flags. But words alone are not enough to determine truth. It's actions that confirm or contradict those words. For instance, a person may express regret for a mistake and promise to change, but if their behavior doesn't align with their promises, those words are meaningless. A friend who repeatedly apologizes for being late but never makes an effort to be on time shows through their actions that they do not value your time as much as they claim. Marcus Aurelius would advise paying close attention to these patterns of behavior, as they reveal far more about a person's character than any amount of verbal reassurance could. Moreover, actions have a way of exposing contradictions that words alone cannot. Liars are often inconsistent. They may say one thing in one context and another in a different setting, hoping that you won't notice the discrepancies. Actions, however, are less easy to control and often betray the truth. For example, someone who professes loyalty but consistently acts in self-serving ways is revealing their true priorities, no matter how convincingly they speak of commitment. Marcus Aurelius believed that observing actions helps cut through the noise of deceptive rhetoric, allowing you to see people as they truly are, not as they wish to appear. This practice of careful observation can protect you from being misled, as it centers your judgment on what is real and tangible, rather than on empty promises or artful speech. Observing actions also requires patience and a long-term perspective. Deceptive individuals often rely on short-term tactics, expecting that their words will have immediate impact while hoping you won't take the time to see if their actions follow through. Marcus Aurelius would argue that the truth often reveals itself over time, and that quick judgments based solely on what someone says can lead you astray. By watching how someone behaves consistently over days, weeks, or even months, you gain a fuller picture of their integrity, or lack thereof. This patience allows you to discern who truly aligns with their values and who is merely performing a role to gain your trust. It's not just about catching a single act of dishonesty, but about observing the overall pattern of behavior that defines a person's character. Additionally, focusing on actions helps you maintain your own integrity and avoid being complicit in deception. Marcus Aurelius would caution that it's easy to get swept up in the allure of persuasive words, especially when they tell you what you want to hear. But by grounding your evaluations in what people do rather than what they say, you protect yourself from becoming a pawn in their manipulations. This approach also teaches you to hold yourself to the same standard, ensuring that your actions consistently reflect your own words and values. In this way, you not only protect yourself from others' deceptions, but also strengthen your own commitment to honesty and authenticity. Ultimately, Marcus Aurelius would counsel that in a world filled with deceit, observing actions over words is a powerful strategy to deflect lies and maintain your grasp on the truth. Actions are the ultimate measure of intent, cutting through the illusions that words can create. They are the steady rhythm beneath the noise, revealing who a person truly is when all the pretense is stripped away. By focusing on actions, you ground your understanding in reality, making it much harder for others to deceive you with empty promises or flattering lies. This disciplined approach ensures that you navigate the complexities of human relationships with clarity, integrity, and an unerring commitment to truth. 4. Trust your instincts and cultivate intuition. One of the most powerful tools you have against deception is your own intuition. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of trusting oneself and paying attention to the inner signals that alert you when something feels off. Intuition is not some mystical or irrational force. It's your subconscious mind, processing subtle cues, body language, inconsistencies, and past experiences faster than your conscious mind can fully articulate. It's that nagging feeling when someone's story doesn't quite add up, or when their smile doesn't match the tension in their eyes. Too often we ignore these signals, brushing them off as paranoia or overthinking, especially if the deceiver is someone we care about or trust. Marcus would argue that these inner warnings are valuable and should be taken seriously. Trusting your instincts doesn't mean jumping to conclusions, but rather allowing your intuition to guide you toward closer scrutiny and thoughtful questioning. Cultivating intuition starts with paying attention to your body's natural responses. Your body often reacts to deception before your mind catches on. You might feel uneasy, tense, or notice a sudden change in your mood when someone is lying to you. These physiological responses are your body's way of signaling that something isn't right. Marcus Aurelius would advise that instead of dismissing these feelings, you should explore them. Ask yourself, why does this interaction make me feel uneasy? Is there a detail that doesn't fit, a hesitation in their voice, or a conflicting gesture that doesn't match their words? This kind of self-examination allows you to connect with your intuition and use it as a compass for detecting lies. Marcus would argue that ignoring these signals only leaves you vulnerable to being misled, as manipulators count on you to overlook your own doubts in favor of their crafted narratives. Moreover, intuition often picks up on patterns that are too subtle for conscious thought. For instance, you might notice that a person's behavior shifts slightly when they're lying. Perhaps they become more animated, avoid eye contact, or change their speech rhythm. These are small, often subconscious cues that your brain processes without you being fully aware of it. Marcus Aurelius would suggest training yourself to become more attuned to these patterns, sharpening your observational skills so that you can better understand the dynamics at play. This doesn't mean becoming paranoid, but rather enhancing your ability to read the room, so to speak, and spot the disconnects between what is being said and what is actually happening. By honing your intuition, you arm yourself with an internal lie detector that helps you navigate complex social interactions with greater confidence. Trusting your instincts also involves giving yourself permission to act on them, even when doing so feels uncomfortable. Society often teaches us to be polite, to give others the benefit of the doubt, and to avoid confrontation. Manipulators exploit this hesitation, knowing that most people would rather suppress their doubts than risk causing tension. Marcus Aurelius, however, believed in the importance of acting in alignment with your inner truth, even when it goes against social expectations. If your gut tells you something isn't right, you have the right to question, to set boundaries, or to remove yourself from the situation entirely. Trusting your instincts is about honoring your own perception of reality, rather than being gaslighted into accepting someone else's version of the truth. Marcus would argue that this kind of self-trust is not only empowering but essential for maintaining your autonomy in a world where deception is often used as a tool of control. Furthermore, cultivating intuition requires a balance of introspection and external awareness. Marcus Aurelius was a master of self-reflection, constantly analyzing his thoughts, actions, and feelings. He understood that intuition is sharpened by experience and reflection, by learning from past encounters and recognizing how they inform your current perceptions. By reflecting on times when you ignored your intuition and were misled, you can better understand its value and learn to trust it in the future. This reflective practice helps you distinguish between genuine intuitive insights and irrational fears, ensuring that your decisions are guided by a well-honed inner sense of discernment. Ultimately, Marcus Aurelius would advocate for trusting your instincts as a crucial defense against deception. In a world where lies can be disguised as truth, your intuition is your most reliable ally, a silent but ever-present guide that keeps you grounded in your own perceptions. By cultivating a strong connection with your inner voice, you build a fortress against manipulation, ensuring that no matter how convincing a deceiver's words may be, your sense of truth remains firmly intact. Marcus believed that true wisdom lies not just in what you know, but in how well you listen to the quiet signals within yourself. Trust those signals, act on them, and let your intuition be the light that guides you through the murky waters of deception. As we come full circle, let's revisit the question that set us on this path. Are people lying to your face? Now, you've learned not just how to spot deception, but how to protect your mind from the subtle manipulations that often go unnoticed. You've equipped yourself with tools to discern truth from lies, self-awareness, skepticism, observing actions over words, and trusting your intuition. Remember the moment when you first felt something was off, that instinctual nudge warning you that everything wasn't as it seemed. That moment was your wake-up call, and now you stand empowered, not at the mercy of deception, but at the helm of your own discernment. The power to see through lies and protect your peace is now yours. Don't let these insights be another fleeting thought. Put them into action. Question the narratives presented to you, trust your instincts, and challenge the words that don't align with actions. The world may be full of deception, but you have the choice to rise above it. What will you do with the knowledge you've gained today? The world won't change until you do. Are you ready to take control? As you reflect on these lessons, ask yourself, how many times have you ignored your gut, brushed off inconsistencies, or let yourself be swayed by sweet words that didn't match reality? Now, the real question remains, will you let those moments define you, or will you step forward with the clarity you found? Mastering the art of discernment isn't just about protecting yourself. It's about reclaiming your power in every interaction. Remember, the greatest freedom lies not in controlling others, but in mastering your response to the world around you. Just like the artist who carefully carves away at stone to reveal a hidden masterpiece, you now hold the tools to chisel away at deceit, revealing the truth hidden beneath. Imagine a life where every interaction is approached with clear eyes and a steady mind. A life where your decisions are guided not by the lies of others, but by your own discernment and strength. That life is within your reach. The future isn't something that happens to us. It's something we create with every choice, every boundary, and every moment of awareness. What kind of future will you build now that you see clearly? This video may end, but your journey is just beginning. Keep questioning, keep observing, and keep refining your ability to see through the illusions that cloud your path. You've taken the first steps on a lifelong journey of wisdom and self-mastery. Continue to walk it with courage, curiosity, and conviction. Before you go, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. How has this changed the way you view your interactions? What will you do differently from today forward? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights could inspire someone else to see through the lies in their own life. And if you found value in these lessons, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more wisdom on mastering the mind and navigating a world full of challenges. The real question now is, are you ready to live with your eyes wide open?